Good morning, y'all. This is something that I don't talk about that much. I feel like I keep my horse life, my personal life, and my school life like very separate. I get a lot of questions about vet school and how it is and what it's like and all the things. So tomorrow I have an exam in the morning at, let me look at the time. I hope it's 9, not 8. It is 8. I have a quiz tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. at school. And today is going to be my prep day because of that. I'm not looking forward to this, but I definitely need to study. This is a quiz, but it's really a test for foundations. Basically in vet school, instead of taking like OChem, biology, physics, all your 5 classes at the same time, we actually take a course at a time. So we'll do like your skeletal system first, and then we'll maybe do your stomach system, your GI next, finish that. So we do things in like sequence instead of doing them all at the same time, which I think is so much better for us, because it would be really difficult if we had to manage everything and have tests or have to do different subjects at the same time. I think they would get jumbled. So we, right now in September, we are doing foundations, which is a jumbled course, and it's not something that I actually like, and we're doing IMSK, which is your muscular skeletal system. So foundations is basically like a jumble of stuff: radiology, oncology, which is like x-rays, cancer, all these things like jumbled together, and I don't like it. It's not fun for me to study. It's not good in my brain, but on the other hand, IMSK is really straightforward. I really enjoy it so much more. But I'm hoping this video is going to give me motivation to actually study today for foundations, because I have been struggling to want to, because it's not something that I find very interesting. But anyway, today I'm going to study for my foundations exam, and I figured I would take y'all along and kind of timestamp this so y'all could see how much I'm actually studying and how much I'm preparing. I will say today is Wednesday. I do have school today, but it's in the afternoon. So our schedule on Wednesdays, we don't have to go into class until 1 p.m. And today it's from 1 p.m. to 4:50 p.m. And I am not going today because they're just doing lectures, and it is for a different course than what we're on. It's for the musculoskeletal system, and our foundations exam is tomorrow. Y'all also probably have figured it out, since I do live on a farm and everything. I commute, so it is about 45 minutes to an hour drive for me, depending on traffic and stuff, and leaving school at 5 is normally like disastrous for me. Like, it could take me an extra 30 minutes to get home, which I need to use that time to study today. Our lectures are recorded though, so I will be watching the lecture later in the day. It's time to start studying for my foundations exam, and I'm going to kind of walk y'all through what I do to get prepared. It is 10:30. I'm going to sit down for an hour and look over one subject. I have my iPad here and my computer. Last night, before I went to bed, I did an hour worth of oncology, which is cancer, and I just like walked through it and made myself go through it very slowly. Now I'm going to go into toxicology. Toxicology is just like basically happens if an animal gets something they're not supposed to get, like over-the-counter medication, prescription medication for people, or eats chocolate or something like that. So I'm going to just read through in depth each PowerPoint slide, and I'm going to give myself like an hour to do this. I will say too, I have really bad ADD, so one of the things I like to do, A, is have this office space where I just strictly study in here, and B, I set timers a lot for myself, so like 10:30 to 11:30 is going to be studying toxicology. Also, I keep a notepad directly beside of me right here, and if I want to write something down that I think is going to help me remember, that I need to remember or something, I'll just quickly jot it down. But this isn't for like deep. I'm going to go back over this stuff and write everything on my whiteboard in a little bit. Y'all will see. Just got through reading toxicology and taking my time with it. I really went through a slide at a time and just read over it and made sure I understood what was going on. It's been an hour though. and I'm ready for a break. I try not to study for like more than an hour without getting up and moving around. I have a change of scenery. I just took a break, went to Chick-fil-A and got me and Joe some lunch. I'm gonna sit down for another hour and focus on another topic. So it is 12:30. I'm going to be looking over cytology, which is basically cell staining. This PowerPoint is not long, so I might end up doing 2 different ones, but I'm just gonna sit down and start studying. It's been an hour. I just reviewed like what I needed to, and I feel pretty good about it. So I'm gonna take like a 30-minute break or so, go for a walk, just to like get outside. Well, I know I'm outside, but like get my body moving a little bit. We'll try to do a little bit of walking and then sit down and study for a little bit longer. I'm grasping it pretty good. Last time I studied for this same class for the exam, I just sat there and was like nothing was going through. But I feel much better about it now. But I want to take like a 30 or so minute break. I just got in from my walk. I walked for about 30 minutes or so, and it's pretty hot outside. I probably couldn't handle too much more than that, but I'm sitting down for another hour. I'm trying to just like get this information in my brain, and then after I have completely reviewed everything, I'm gonna go into my room and take it by section again and write down like the main points that I feel like could be tested on or whatever. I'm gonna put them on my whiteboard, and that's really gonna help me like put it into my memory. I'm going to take this next hour and look into radiation. Radiographs, like x-rays. Studied for like an hour. My brain's about to explode. The radiograph, like PowerPoints, lectures are not for me at all. They don't really make much sense. I think it might be the way that we're like being taught. I'm just not a fan, and it's not the way I learned, so I'm having to really break it down slowly. But I got through it at least one time, but I need to do it more. But that's for a later time because I need a break. Okay, I'm back to my original study spot, and now I have basically looked over all of the new material. And what I'm going to do is go through each section again, about an hour or so at a time, or just however long it takes me, and I'm going to write out like exactly like what I see that I'm going to need to know or memorize or whatever. This just kind of helps me like recall it again. I'm not the best at like just being able to look at something and being able to absorb it. That helps. It's like a start for me, but it's not like really what gets in my brain. So I'm going to write out. I have so many colored Expo markers, and I just put this thing up the other day, like probably at the beginning of this year. I put up this board, and it has been so helpful, I feel like, to make me actually study. So it's helpful. My ADD, I notice I'm like good with this. So gonna go into tumor biology right now and learn about oncology, which is cancer. And I have 3 PowerPoints of that to do. Also, in each of our lectures, this is very helpful. It's almost like a cheat sheet. But in the beginning of each lecture, they will give us learning objectives. So they're just like things that we really should be getting out of the PowerPoint. That is so helpful. It kind of tells you where to focus. I have friends who like make a list of all the learning objectives and that's all they study, but I just do better with the PowerPoints because sometimes they like to get specific, but it is helpful, especially for like cumulative exams. just finished studying for about an hour. Y'all saw me write out everything on my board. That's just kind of what I do to kind of get it in my head for sure. But now I'm going to sit down and work on what I missed today. Only ended up missing 3 lectures. I'm just going to watch those real quick. I might watch just one and then see if the crock pot's done with my supper because I'm getting hungry. So this has absolutely nothing to do with the exam that I'm taking tomorrow morning. I'm really sad that my exam is at 8 a.m. because I'm a commuter and I fight a lot of the traffic just in general because a lot of the people from around here go to my school or like around my school to go to work. So I have to deal with so much traffic. There were supposed to be 4 lectures, but they changed it to 3, which I'm glad about because it's not a big deal to like watch them back. It just takes time and I would prefer to not have an extra to do. I just finished 1 lecture. I'm going to take all this to the kitchen and finish up cooking. So I'm moving locations again. If y'all haven't noticed, that's like something I love to do. I ate supper, got caught up on all of the lectures that I missed today, but now it's time to get back to my whiteboard and back to studying the way I was. My eyes are really red, especially this one, because I cut it somehow. I had to go to the doctor about it, and basically she was like, you actually physically cut your eye, and I'm not sure how, and it doesn't hurt that bad, it's just really red, and she said it's going to take a while to heal. Get back locked in, and I'm going over at toxicology now. It's been an hour and my feet are starting to hurt from standing up and writing on the board. So I'm now sitting here and writing it on this piece of paper. I don't have that much more to go, I don't think. I'm going to try to stick it out for another 30 or 40 minutes before I go to bed because it is 9 and my bedtime is coming in hot. And I definitely want time to like chill and stuff. So this is giving me motivation though to study because typically I would not study this much. So I'm hoping that I will make a good grade on this. And unfortunately, this is the first time this has happened like all year, but we have an exam tomorrow on Thursday morning. And then we have an exam Monday. Like in the morning too. Back to back. We like haven't had that all year yet. So this is the first time. Honestly, people say that school is hard and it is hard. And there's a lot of like studying to do, but I feel like I study less in vet school than I did in undergrad, and I really enjoy it more. So it's just like what you want to do and what you like to do, but overall I would say vet school's easier than undergrad. It's a lot of thinking, obviously, and studying, and I got a comment the other day asking about if it's a lot of reading, and it's not a lot of reading. I'm going to lock it on this for a little bit. And we'll see how long I make it because I am getting tired. Hey y'all, I can barely hold my eyes open. I'm calling it a night. Since the test is at 8, I'm thinking I'm going to leave here like pretty early and wake up pretty early so I can get there. Probably get something on the way there. So I gotta charge my iPad though and my laptop because I will be using that tomorrow. But anyway, that was a very long study day, and I'll let y'all know how I think I do, but it's probably going to take too long to get my grade back to like actually let y'all know what I made, unfortunately. It's quite some time later. I took my exam 2 days ago. Thankfully, that was over. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to y'all. The test, like the exam, did not feel very good, but when I walked out of there, I talked to the people in my class, obviously, and we all kind of had the same consensus that it was just like extremely hard. So I think I passed. I knew definitely like more than half of the material, but it was still very difficult. But that's just how it goes if you're in college, if you're doing whatever. Sometimes you feel like that was like an unfair question, extremely hard, and then you get out and get your grade and you're like, oh, I did much better than I thought I did. So y'all get it if you know. But I just wanted to kind of give y'all a day in vet school to let y'all kind of see how a study day works for me. I really try to like balance my life, my school, my social media, the horses, everything really well, but obviously it's hard and some days just have to be dedicated to one thing. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's video. Please let me know if y'all liked it, and I might do more in the future. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!